What happened to our honor? What happened to discipline, loyalty, and living by a code? In today's world, where values shift with every trending post, where loyalty is rare and attention spans are shorter than a TikTok, we need to look backward, not to regress, but to remember. Because the samurai had something we lost: Bushido. And what they lived might just be what saves us. The Bushido, forgotten code. In the quiet folds of history, there exists a code that shaped not just warriors, but an entire civilization. Its name is Bushido, a word that echoes through the centuries, yet is often overlooked in our modern world. Samurai lived and died by this code, the way of the warrior. For them, it was more than a set of rules. It was a way of being, a guiding light that illuminated every decision, every action, and every sacrifice. Bushido wasn't just about fighting, it was about living with purpose and integrity. At its heart were 7 core values: rectitude, the unwavering commitment to do what is right; courage, the strength to face fear and adversity; benevolence, the compassion to help others; respect, the honor given to all; honesty, the pursuit of truth; honor, the pride in one's actions; and loyalty, the devotion to one's cause and comrades. These virtues were not just ideals, they were daily practices woven into the fabric of samurai life. Bushido was not flashy. It was not about profit or fame. It was about living a life of meaning, guided by principles that endure beyond the battlefield. Its lessons are timeless, offering wisdom for any era. Compare that to today. Our culture often rewards appearance over substance, outrage over wisdom, and self over service. In a world obsessed with instant gratification and fleeting trends, the depth and discipline of Bushido seem almost alien, yet desperately needed. Bushido was the antidote to moral drift. It was an anchor in turbulent times, a compass pointing toward virtue when the world seemed lost. It reminded warriors and all who followed its path that true strength comes from within. As Yamamoto Tsunetomo wrote, "To die when to die is right, and to strike when to strike is right." These words capture the essence of Bushido, a code that calls us to live, and if necessary to die, with honor and purpose. Miyamoto Musashi, master of the sword, master of the self. His name echoes through the centuries, not just as a warrior, but as a symbol of relentless self-mastery and discipline. In the misty forests of ancient Japan, Musashi's presence was both feared and revered, a solitary figure who walked his own path, guided by an unwavering inner compass. Musashi was more than a legendary swordsman. He was a living embodiment of the samurai spirit, dedicating his life to the pursuit of perfection, not just in combat, but in every aspect of existence. His sword was an extension of his will, and every movement was a reflection of his disciplined mind. He was a philosopher, an artist, a strategist. Musashi's talents extended far beyond the battlefield. He painted, wrote poetry, and practiced calligraphy, believing that true mastery required balance between the mind, body, and spirit. His strategies were as sharp as his blade, and his art revealed the depth of his introspection. He lived by a principle of detachment. Musashi sought clarity by distancing himself from worldly distractions and emotional attachments. Through meditation and solitude, he cultivated a mind that was calm, focused, and unshakable, even in the face of chaos. In his timeless Book of 5 Rings, Musashi writes, "Do nothing which is of no use." These words are more than advice. They are a call to strip away the unnecessary and live with intention and purpose. Every action, every thought must serve a higher goal. In other words, cut the noise, cut the excess, focus. Musashi's life was a testament to the power of simplicity. He believed that by eliminating distractions, one could channel all energy into what truly matters, whether it was perfecting a sword technique or mastering the art of living. He warned against becoming a slave to comfort or emotion. Musashi understood that true strength comes from resilience and self-control. He resisted the temptations of luxury and the pull of fleeting feelings, choosing instead the path of discipline and endurance. Musashi slept outside, trained alone, and dueled to the death over 60 times, not out of aggression but clarity. Each duel was a test of his resolve, a way to sharpen not just his blade but his mind and spirit. He embraced discomfort, knowing it was the crucible in which greatness is forged. He mastered the blade because he mastered himself. Musashi's greatest victories were not over his opponents, but over his own doubts, fears, and weaknesses. His journey was one of constant self-improvement, a relentless pursuit of inner harmony and strength. In a world ruled by emotional reactivity and digital dopamine, Musashi teaches us to return to discipline and simplicity. His legacy reminds us that true mastery, whether in swordsmanship, art, or life, begins with mastering the self. By embracing his principles, we can find clarity amidst chaos and strength in simplicity, forging our own path with purpose and resolve. In our world today, truth often feels like something you can bargain with. It's become a moving target, shaped by trends, opinions, and the loudest voices online. Morality, too, is seen as a matter of perspective, something that shifts depending on who you ask or how you feel in the moment. Everything, it seems, is filtered through the lens of personal experience. We're told to trust our feelings, to let our emotions guide us, and to define what's right or wrong based on our own unique perspective. In conversations, in debates, and even in friendships, the idea of an absolute truth is often dismissed as old-fashioned or even oppressive. But the samurai didn't operate like that. Their world was built on a foundation of unchanging values, where honor was not up for debate and truth was not something you could simply redefine. To them, honor wasn't just a fleeting feeling or a matter of convenience. It was a sacred duty, a code that demanded respect, discipline, and unwavering commitment, no matter the cost. A man without honor in the eyes of the samurai was already dead inside. To lose your honor was to lose your very reason for being. If there is anything to truly fear, it's not the judgment of others, but your own inability to stand by your principles when it matters most. The greatest danger is betraying your own code. Today, moral relativism tells us, live your truth. It encourages us to prioritize our own comfort, our own narrative above all else. But Bushido, the way of the samurai, says something different. It calls us to live the truth, a truth that exists beyond our feelings, beyond our circumstances, and beyond our personal desires. And following that truth isn't easy. It demands sacrifice, it brings pain. It requires relentless discipline and the courage to do what's right, even when it's hard. But without truth, without something solid to stand on, there can be no real strength. Only when we commit to something greater than ourselves do we find the power to endure, to overcome, and to truly live with honor. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus lived a world away from the samurai, but they echoed the same values: discipline over impulse, duty over comfort, virtue over opinion. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Both Stoicism and Bushido trained the mind for war, not just battles on the outside, but the war within. In the chaos of today's world, this mindset isn't outdated, it's rare and powerful. So how do you live like a samurai in a world that worships mediocrity? Choose discipline daily, wake up early, train your body, train your mind, commit to a personal code, write down your values and honor them, speak with truth, even when it costs you. Reject comfort worship. The easy path is almost never the right one. Lead by example, don't preach, embody. You don't need a katana to be a warrior, but you do need courage and a code. The world doesn't need more opinions. It needs more men and women of honor, more Musashis, more Marcus Aureliuses, more people like you, if you choose to be. Live by a code and never bow to the chaos. Subscribe for more warrior philosophy, stoic wisdom, and timeless truth. Comment calm below to let everyone know you embrace the warrior mindset and understand the message. Your mind is your weapon, now go sharpen it.